will be okay. All right. Good morning. Happy New Year again from Vietnam, Nha Trang. Another live stream. Trying to get back on track. Still not 100% recovered from the plague. Fun fact, pretty much all of my friends and family members I talked to lately, they all having the plague with the similar symptoms. And I'm talking about some people from Vietnam, Georgia, and United States. So it's quite interesting how widely it can spread. Hi, Matt. Happy New Year. Good to see you here. How are you doing? How is the year starting for you? So received some supplements. This is the multivitamin. So I already took a couple. Anyways, this is just a Q&A, so feel free to ask questions. My mom is in the chat. Привет, mama. Be beauty Tbilisi. That's my mom. Been great. Been on vacation for 2 weeks. Oh, that's awesome. Where is the vacation? I'm still recovering from the flu. It's definitely better today, but it's still coughing. Still, something is left, and it's getting quite annoying. Ah, stay at home. Good. That's uh, reminds of my sister. She had a vacation recently. I asked her same question: where are you planning to go? And she's like, just planning to sleep at home. Hello, happy New Year. It's so hard to get back to the live streaming. It seems like it wasn't that long that I was away. But last year, technically, the end of the last year, I've been training, I was live streaming, some productive things. And right now, it's just so hard to get back to the routine. I still kind of train. I tried a little bit, apart from walking, do a little bit of training at home, and it just feels exhausting. So I'm giving it a little bit more time. Hello, hello. Hello, Diana's mother. Your daughter is a wonderful person. I'll translate it to her. Мам, тебе говорят, что здрасте, Диана мама. Ваша дочь прекрасный человек. I hope my mom heard the translation. I'm from Bali. Oh, good. Welcome in the chat. Feel free to ask questions and basically just we can have a conversation pretty much about everything. One second, I got the message from the apartment hotel we're staying in all this time. Okay, I'll just look at it later. We're doing some adjustments on the top of the everything. We're having a visa run where me and my husband are in Vietnam, Nha Trang. So once in 3 months, because we're on a tourist visa, we're having a visa runs here. And yeah, trying to sort that one out. My mom then says thank you. Howdy, Kayla. It's so good to see you. Happy New Year. Yeah, I missed you guys too. I was also thinking about few of like about you and Matt and some of the people who are regulars. I was thinking, oh, okay. I hope they think that I'm all right because I was a little bit out of the picture for a few days, which is not much, but it's still atypical for me. My husband is Norwegian. He's from he's from Norway. What's that? Oh, Mexico is here. Hi, hi. So is this a friends and family stream, or do people you don't know can comment and ask questions? Well, live streaming on YouTube works that way. It actually reaches out to a lot of people for the first time, so it reaches beyond the subscribers and usual viewers. So yeah, everyone is welcome. And well, when people misbehave and try to be disrespectful, we just keep the chat clean. So there's some of the moderators that help me with that, and I also have an access. I can just time out or hide people from the channel. Holland. No, this is Vietnam Nha Trang, and I'm originally from Georgia. Sorry, I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi. I'm interested in strength training. Well, I can give you a brief advice right now, straight away in this live stream. Um, there's certain protocols that work for different, depending on your goals, right? For the strength development, the relative strength development, the most optimal principle is lower than 5 repetitions total. Obviously, it has to be a proportional weight, meaning you go a little bit for a higher weight. Exercise, this can be, it's up to your choice. It's safer to use machines, but the neural response is way better with the compound exercises like deadlift, squats, um, like the barbell rows, obviously targeting different groups, muscle groups. And obviously you should aim to train full body, meaning you can do that within a single day, or you can do a split set within a week. But the point is that consistently your entire body has to be the major groups and the compound training and um, assisting muscle groups also needs to be targeted. And strength is more of a skill, so it's like a neural pattern, neural connection that is getting built up and developed rather than just growing a muscle tissue itself. That's why when you train strength, you don't really grow that much. You're gonna look more lean and compact, of course. So muscle definition gonna be there, but you're not really growing into a volume. But your strength is developing significantly, and long amounts of rest in between the sets. That's like two main principles. Less than 5 repetitions, proportional weights to that, and resting longer between the sets. Okay, what do we have here? Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry you've been under the weather. Listen to your body and don't rush back. These things too quickly so you can get back to 100%. Oh, that's absolutely correct. Very good advice, Kayla. That's why I haven't done sparrings, especially sparrings. I didn't even get back to the boxing training yet. All I'm doing is walking. I walk many thousand steps a day, and that helps me. I didn't gain too much on the New Year's. Uh, Chris's father and his girlfriend are visiting, so obviously we're eating a lot. We're going on the buffets, and despite that, because of walking and just having a baseline activity, um, I'm not really out of shape. But because of that plague, I haven't been back to training. I'm not gonna force myself until the point I'm feeling optimal. I'm Georgian, but my mom is half Russian, half Ukrainian. She was just in the chat before, so that explains my Slavic appearance. Красивая, yes, that's beautiful for a woman. In Russian language, you have every word has its gender. male, female, and neutral. You have, for example, you have machina, a car is a female gender, and you have um, sonce, sonce, the sun is the neutral, and you have the, what is the male word? It's quite hard, like I just speak Russian together with Georgian since I was a baby, so it's easy now. But if you learn it from scratch as an adult, it's not the easiest language. Yes, I'm from Georgia, not the United States. I can't say but so that you went live, and so let you know, thinking of you all. It's always great to see you, and if it's just for a moment. That's really sweet. Go get your rest. It's important to have a good time. Oh, thank you. Yuki did the super chat donation. Appreciate it. Happy New Year to you. And well, since it's just the beginning of the year, feel free to share your affirmations, your wishes, your goals in the chat. Good morning. Hi, Mike. Good to see you here. Spanish is like that. Yes, I heard about that. Oh, nice. Well, yeah, it's quite late at yours. What time is it? Oh, yeah, it's getting close to the midnight. Happy New Year. How are you doing? I'm doing well. I'm doing way better than I did. How often do you change your opinion on stuff? I'm quite flexible with changing my opinion regarding pretty much everything because even facts can change. So being too rigid into and thinking that you know everything and you're correct is actually um, there was a person, a intelligent thinker, Dietrich Bonhoeffer. He was the anti-Nazi he was executed right before, like 2 weeks before the Berlin fall, and he had this it's a functional collective stupidity, but societal stupidity. He explained that phenomenon, and the main cause of it is what people being very stuck on the certain ideas, and they think that that's the only virtuous path or the way, or and that's how cults are created, and this is how political um, extremes are made. So yeah, I'm quite flexible, except certain things which are like a core values and core like family values and being kind, but also have strong boundaries. Like those things, like I don't change my opinion pretty much, but I'm generally I'm quite flexible. So I'm not gonna rant more than that. South Africa, hello. I have a very good friend, one of my best friends. She's from South Africa. She's actually back in South Africa for some wedding. Were you ever a smoker? No, I never smoked like cigarettes. Never had never even bought a pack for myself. John Cena retired from WWE. Oh my God, such a tragedy. Well, give the man the rest. He's been quite out there, both in WWE and movie making. And what was the last thing he did? A Peacemaker series. Anyways, yeah, just give the guy the rest. Uh, Matt says like and subscribe to Red Hat Diaries. Thank you. Matt is one of our moderators. Thank you, Matt. You're too beautiful to fight. One day I'm gonna get old and I'm not gonna be beautiful anymore. So what's the point? But also I try. Don't think that I'm all. Don't think I'm like a Jerry Prohaska who likes to drop their hands and just get to take all the punches in their face. No, that's not my. One of the things that one of the reasons I actually love boxing is because there is many ways how to avoid getting punched like really hard or punched most of the times. Using your guard, using the head and body movement, footwork. There are many, and the right timing, obviously. So it's quite an exciting thing to try not to damage your face too much. First time on this YouTube live thing. Oh, it's an honor that, like, first time ever. And I ended up here somehow. The YouTube algorithm does some miracles. My favorite Georgian streamer. I'm not even sure if there are any other Georgian streamers like I do, who do that in English. I'm not sure about that. I mean, you have in the Rap's team. I actually know Bato, for example. I know him personally. He does the YouTube, but I think he's mostly making content in Georgian as well. So um, yeah, I don't think there are that many. Anyways, um, well, same question. 2026. What's your affirmations, your goals? How is the year starting for you? One thing I will ask you not to do is please don't spam, even if it's the nice messages. If you spam too much, I'll have to time you out. We try to keep the chat clean, okay? So let's just keep it keep the chat clean, basically. Elegantly beautiful. Thank you. When I'm not wearing a training wear and yeah, basically when I don't wear sporty outfits, I'm all for elegancy. Drinking tea. Yes, this is had the watermelon juice, and in Vietnam they always serve you some sort of green tea or something. I don't know how they make this, but it's good. It's good. It's quite refreshing. Usually they serve it with ice, but because I'm a little bit sick, I asked them to serve me the warm tea. How are you, Diana? Way better than I was. The flu plague is almost gone, but you can hear my cough is still there, but it will be fine. It takes maybe a little bit extra week to um, to be gone fully. Good morning. Good to see you, Shay. Life is beautiful. We must adjust our at the environment. No, every day is okay. Well, I agree with the statement. Life is beautiful. It's all about the perception. Sometimes you need to make some adjustments to really feel and live the life to the fullest, and it might not take too much either. Firstly, environment, the place where you would live. It's always better if you live in the closer to the nature, in a place that is not too polluted, that is more affordable, that already by extension makes your life easier and more peaceful. And then it's a lot of things are up to you. Hello, greetings from Indonesia. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi. Good morning from Uzbekistan. Have a good day to everyone. Have a good day to you and Happy New Year, guys. Hope you're having a wonderful New Year. I'm surviving. A little bit of in the survival mode when it comes to basically just had the plague. Nothing like crazy, nothing horrible. Not gonna complain, but it's just it just helps. Health is number one. When it's not 100%, it always feels you feel a little bit defeated. But um, those are the kind of challenges that appear sometimes and out of your control, but you just face them with grace and take care of yourself. Hi, long time don't see you. Okay, well, welcome back. Happy to see you now. Okay, Tyson Fury announced he's officially unretired and will return boxing this year. Did he do that before? I remember, if it's not him, maybe it was someone else, but it's not the first case when boxers unretire, and sometimes in multiple occasions. Survival mode is my word. It's the universal language code. Belgian, hi. Um, I'm still wondering how YouTube algorithm works exactly because it ranges. The views range from, well, pretty much everywhere: United States, Europe, UK, and then there is like India and Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and this part of the world. Are you in Vietnam? Yes, I am. Me and my husband, we both are in Vietnam. From Georgia, Tbilisi. Oh, so sad the Anthony Joshua situation. Pray for him, guys. Yeah, that's. I didn't want to bring it up myself, but I've been following on it, and it's so devastating. I'm glad that he survived, but absolutely heartbroken for his close team members and friends. And it's another proof that life can turn around so rapidly. Also, another person from Georgia passed away in the car crash. And in Georgia, it's very like we have that problem. People just overspeed and drive recklessly. I can tell you, in Vietnam, they drive more mindfully than in Georgia, at least in Tbilisi. And that girl, I didn't know her directly, but she worked in this one of the bigger gyms, and we had a lot of acquaintances. And all of a sudden, beautiful, young, striving girl. She was just recently married, was going home in her taxi, and the other car hit them, and the taxi driver lost the control, and they just hit into a tree or something, and that's it. It's over. So yeah, it's been a little bit too much negativity, unfortunately, and those unfortunate events in the beginning of the new year. But again, there are also good things happening. Life is going on, so we have to stay strong. Yeah, this is the seventh time he has undertied. By the way, yeah, okay, that was Fury. Then that was one. I was almost certain that was him who was like unretired many times. It's really devastating. Glad to see Marab also helping Ilya, though his situation, even though I'm not a Tapuria fan much. Well, yeah, that situation seems to be a little bit of blackmailing and money thing, even though it might not be a money demand out of necessity, just because ego. People do things to each other just because their feelings got hurt, and women do that too. But again, clearly don't know anything, and there is this idea of um, how you called it, the innocent until guilty, right? So there is no. I think the court process should start soon, but there is no evidence of Ilya being violent to his ex-wife whatsoever at this point. So if it gets proven, that's another story, right? It's gonna definitely hurt his reputation, and well, people who do things like that, they essentially just ruin themselves. But there is no evidence of that at this point. So I hope he just gets through that. And again, if there is no danger for children, and there is no an actual violence, I think it's unfair or either of parents being separated from their children for such a long time. That's very unfair. Okay, what else is going on in already in 2026? Oh, Alex Pereira dating the Tracy Cortez. I'm not gonna say like listen. I'm not gonna say anything. It's just a little bit funny. It was that was one of the first things I saw, and I was like, oh, okay, this is the news. I was, by the way, sick those days, so I didn't really go too much into social media. I think Patty versus Gage is gonna be for the actual belt. Um, well, yeah, it should not be. It's not. I mean, if it is, it's actually maybe even more fair. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Ilya gonna come back at some point. Gonna have to fight, right? Whether it's for defending his actual belt or trying to get that belt back. Like, what is really a difference? It's about the fighting and winning the fight, right? If he's found innocent, she should face a major jail time. Well, definitely. I don't know how it works for um, blackmailing and also how you call that in English. I forgot the word in English. But when you false accusations, when you falsely accuse someone and you basically make up the lies, you definitely have to be carry the consequences. So less people do that, and less women try to do that. Joanna or Joanna and Jamal Hill situation. That was also a little bit awkward. Prison time. It's a felony. Yeah. In different countries, that specific one is. I mean, it's in Georgia. I'm not even sure how harsh is the penalty on that, but it's definitely illegal, and you can. I think if everything, if Tapuria is found innocent, he's probably gonna file back. Okay, yeah. Now Ilya has to counter sue for the defamation for her to face jail time. Okay, yes. I guess that's what might happen. Hello, Becky Lynch. Yes. I actually looked at Becky Lynch the other day, some of the other pictures, and now I see a little bit of resemblance. Hello, a woman near the wall. Okay, that's. I'm thinking, should I say that joke or no? My husband is joking around. He's from Norway, right? Norway is one of the best countries in the world, and he's joking that everyone south from Norway is Mexicans. And then there was this video. It was a Chinese guy with the cowboy hat on the Chinese wall, and he was impersonating Trump, and he was talking like this, and like this is from the south from this Chinese wall. We have Mexicolians, and he said Mexicolians, and we laughed our asses. So also potentially Georgia and both Russia, Georgia, and Ukraine at some point were ran over by Mongolians, and even my mom has some features, like facial features, prominent um, cheekbones. That maybe, just maybe, I never got the genetical test, but maybe I might have some Mongolian something a little bit in my roots. And it's funny; it makes it even funnier. So yeah, he jokes about that. Everyone's south is Mexican, and I'm Mexicolian. People can find it offensive, but me and my husband joke about that kind of stuff a lot, and we find it quite funny. I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi. Georgian Shevchenko. Oh, Shevchenko is one of my favorites, so it will be an honor to be um, even nearly as good as she is. Well, but in boxing. Okay, by the way, 2026 is going to be crazy. Many great movies coming up. World Cup and GTA 6. GTA 6 is coming up finally. So many people were waiting for it for so long. But yeah, I mean, also so many unexpected things. The world is so rapid and so vibrant and odd at times that you never know what. I mean, what happened? What is the biggest thing? The regime, the Duerte regime in Venezuela failed. Like just is done. So that's quite crazy. Georgian's been quite sharing those news a lot. But imagine how crazy it is. And every year in the last, I think post COVID, start with something quite insane. Mongols were superhuman, scary. Yeah, I think the authentic Mongolians are quite tough to till these days. Yeah, Mongolia left their genetic mark. They absolutely did. Like that's what I'm saying. Even if you look at my mom, she has that. She's not Asian, but it's interesting. She looks Slavic if she has lighter hair, and at some point she was dyeing her hair black, and all of a sudden it would look that she looks more of that direction. How old is Mongolian? Well, that's a good point. At least in Eurasia, my country's name is Georgia, Sakartvelo. Right now, we live in Vietnam, Nha Trang. Have pretty eyes. Thank you. Thank you for all the compliments. You can literally start a conversation from any topic. Well, it's called having a general conversation or a short talk. Some people hate it, but I don't understand English. That's okay. I couldn't understand English a few years ago, but here I am. Yes, Genghis Khan was from Mongolian. That's true. Very interesting fact. He would actually use his daughters. Like his daughters were his one of the strongest allies. So they would obviously get politically married, and then they would just somehow get rid of their husbands or at least participate into that, and then they would take over, and they were just the extension of their father as the central. So it was a very efficient way. And Mongolians after Genghis Khan, it was 400 years. It's way past him. So that was even of the old age empires. The average timing, the average duration is like 300 years of the upcoming, then peaking, and the downfall. Right, in 400 years is past, way past of that duration. Every 1 in 200 people is a Mongolian descent. That's crazy, crazy statistics. I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Well, getting back into the consistency of live streaming, I'm really hoping after visa run, tomorrow we have a visa run, and we just within 24 hours we'll be back to Nha Trang. So yeah, gradually get back to training. I'm really looking forward to it. What else? I have a lot of singing gigs. Extra karaoke day. I didn't live stream karaoke just for two reasons. There was some sound issue lately. I don't know, is it my phone's problem or anything else? But and I just didn't feel good. I didn't really sing. I just made others sing, so I could just rest and just post the karaoke's. But I have now 3 days a week, and I have a gig performing at the casino once a week. So I'm actually making quite a salary here now out of those gigs. And well, in 2026, continuing saving up money. Looking forward to buy property in Europe, potentially in Bulgaria. That's one of the places we're looking into, and then in Georgia. But yeah, those are just long-term plans. Hope part of it we're gonna reach out some of the goals in 2026. Tatarstan. Hi. It's said quite an international audience here. I hope that's not the alcohol you're drinking. No, I don't drink alcohol. This is a herbal tea, which is very common in Vietnam. They, it looks maybe a little bit like, you tell me, tequila, whiskey, cider, maybe, but yeah, I'm not the alcohol fan. Just don't like the taste. Nice to make you make money for something that you like. Yeah, that took a while. Apart from singing, even personal coaching and working online with people. At some point, back in 2020, for example, I was working in studio, and that was the period of COVID. You know, it wasn't that easy, but it just was one step at a time. And well, at the end of the day, I'm always ready to do some temporary work. I'm used to working since I was maybe 16. When I was 16, I was actually making jewelry. So I would the polish. That was my job. I would polish the ornaments and make it as smooth as possible. So that's what I would do as a 16-year-old. So I'm not. I'm fine with doing some job that is not necessarily like I would do long term, temporarily. But I always look at it that way. You should at least like in a way what you're doing long term, because well, otherwise you're not going to be able to do it well, and it's also going to affect your mental and physical health if you hate your job. That's one of the if you spend many hours a week doing certain things, you should be able to tolerate it, right? Well, why not Portugal? Maybe Portugal, maybe Croatia. There are quite a few countries that we're looking into, but I think one of the most affordable, at least in some areas, is Bulgaria. English breakfast tea. It's an apple juice. I wish it was, but it's not. How is the weather? Cloudy, foggy, rainy at the times. Portugal, Castle and Templars all day. Oh, it's beautiful. One of my clients lives in Portugal. Well, she cycles around Europe now, but she was based in Portugal for quite some time, and oh, it's really spectacular. Some of the places. You're Irish? No, I'm not. I'm Georgian. I'm fake ginger. I'm a day walker, not the real one. But I'm Slavic and Caucasian mixed in one, and I carry the ginger color quite well. Why in Europe, especially in UK and the post-Soviet countries, it is okay to solve conflicts with the face-to-face fights? Well, I think it has to do a lot of with history and geopolitics, and the countries that are like bigger in the region having that mentality. That's just unfortunately. There's someone said very well that people don't really learn from history because majority of people, history is such a it's so hard to learn the authentic history. It's very hard to do that in the first place, but even if you do that, it's not that many people who commit their time. So most of people learn from the previous generation. Everything before that usually gets forgotten, and that's why people make tend to make same generations make same mistakes from the past over and over again. It's like a repetitive look. You look like French, thank you, but I'm not. She could pass as Irish, thank you, but I'm not. uh, I'm married. Who's your audience? Majority male, but females are coming up percentage wise. But that's because I'm doing boxing, fighting. We talk about UFC fights and basically topics surrounding sports, combat sports. So I, it's kind of makes sense. We're in high school. No, and I don't wish to be back in high school. Um, it wasn't horrible time, but I was craving for independence, exploring the world, navigating. I even learned English past my high school period. I didn't really, they were teaching English in school, but the Georgian public school system is not good. It really is not. And some of the teachers still have the that Soviet mentality. Some of them do, and some of them are as old. So they were like they were in their mid 40s when the Soviet Union was still there. They've seen Stalin. They lived in the period where Stalin was alive. Some of my teachers, a lot of my teachers, well, they're old and with that specific mentality. So yeah, I'm not missing high school at all. Come to Middle East if you like adventure. Been a little bit, been in some Kuwait. No, thank you. Um, Middle East is not at top of the list. I prefer Southeast Asia way more. Thoughts on the Manel Cape potentially fighting champ? I I don't know his last performance. When was that? It was the fight night, I think. But yeah, I haven't looked much into his performance, so I can't tell you my opinion. The like bottom, Portugal is budget friendly. Yeah, I heard about that. So is Bulgaria, so is Croatia, but it really depends on some future changes too. None of those countries are as budget friendly as Nha Trang City in Vietnam. I am telling you guys. You wouldn't believe how much we pay per month for a little nice studio apartment, a good location, quiet, safe, maybe 10-15 minute walk to a north part of center where there is everything, shops, well, obviously restaurants, coffee shops, a gym. Our gym is in that direction. We pay $200 per month. $200 per month. And yeah, we just love it here. If you want to save up money, uh, try to live temporarily in Vietnam, maybe Cambodia. We didn't explore it at all yet, but a lot of people say Cambodia. Some parts of the Cambodia is very interesting and also very affordable. I don't speak Arabic. Oh, it's the girl from the office. Like which one? Which one? And which office? British? I haven't seen British office. I've seen American one only. What tattoo is that? It's dragon. It's a female prophet. It's kind of same entity in two shapes and just a katana and tail. This thing is mistaken by like people think I'm have a scratch or wounds very often. I'm married. Evil doesn't care about mistakes. Mm, the world doesn't care about mistakes. Look like Becky Lynch. That's I've been told that every day, every time I go to the live stream. Which nationality are you? I'm Georgian, from Tbilisi. Okay, what do we have here? I'm scrolling through the chat. I want to hide away in Vietnam for 90 days. Is Nha Trang good? It is. I love it. It's modern enough. You can access pretty much everything you need. You have hospitals, you have restaurants, coffee shops, you have some entertainment, you have bars, clubs. Uh, but it's nice. It's still nice. It's still quiet. There's still a lot of nature around. There are some little islands, a lot of destinations. They're beautiful spots. We tried. I tried the um, Tamba. I don't remember the name exactly, but that's like a spa right in the mountain and the forest. And there's the mud bath and mineral water bath, and then you can just go to the hot pool and just spend as long as you want there. The hot tubs, the bath, and the mineral water baths, like 20 minutes each, and you just pay. Let me remember how much was per person. It's cheaper if you pre-book it online, which is also very easy. But it's around $10 maybe. It's wonderful here. But there are also other places in Vietnam you can explore, and there are different cities that might suit your taste better, and it's still way more affordable than the rest of the world. No, me and my husband don't have children yet, but we're looking forward in the next few years. What is my mic? I actually bought it 7 RIMS. So this is the mic. There are two mics, and there is the transmitter, just putting it into USB gap. And we bought it here in Saigon actually when we arrived first in the trunk. Here, Cambodia is nice. Yeah, looking forward to explore a little bit more of Cambodia too. But at this point, we just love it here. We like to have our routine, and we just like saving up money, being able to train at the same time. I mean, before my plague, we've been training in Trunks Sport Unite, and I'm going to continue training for for my first professional fight this year. It's not scheduled yet, obviously, but it wouldn't be a problem. I have people who just wait for um, my notice. When I tell them that I'm ready, they will just organize it for me, and that's one of the things I'm excited for in 2026. I'm married, yes. Cambodia is very culturally rich, loads of temples. Yeah, that's the area. I think the Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie was recorded there, and well, that's one of the places to go in Cambodia. But they're kind of like 2, 3 cities or areas you would want to explore, and everything else is still undeveloped. How much money is rich, do you think? Well, technically, we're quite wealthy here. So it depends where you live. It depends what lifestyle you choose. We don't need much to be happy. I don't need much to be happy. To me, it's like I like little routines. For example, being able to get up in the morning before going on the walk. There is this coffee shop very close to where we live, and I usually order the cheapest coffee. Well, not the cheapest because it's the cheapest one is the black one, plain one. But there is the condensed milk coffee that's just I don't know. It's less than $1. It's like 50 cents. I drink that, and then I go for a walk on the beach, on the coast, and I just get my steps in. Sometimes I go the other direction, go to the pull-up bars, do that. So this is this is what makes me happy and feels makes me feel secure, safe. So we don't need really that much, and being able to save up and be smart and budget smart and get property, because property is something whatever you would own it, obviously in Vietnam it's temporary. You have a 50-year lease, so unless it has very good returns in those 50 years, it's not like something there you would pass on your children. But places, there are multiple spots in Europe, in Georgia, that where you would want to buy a house or property and have some real estate. You can always rent it out, or at least have a land. You can build up something on the land. This is how we look at it. This is, to me, being more than enough reach. Anything else about, like, on the top of that, just to being able to live a posh and wealthy life, or you know being popular and be in those circles, I don't know, I don't really think that's for me. It's not something you would say no necessarily to, but I picture my life with my family, with my husband, with my future children, and, well, grandchildren, and that we have a few bases where we can just be together, and obviously also have friends and families coming over, and keep it quite simple, close to the nature. How is Wi-Fi in Tbilisi? Somehow it's not as good as here. You don't have unlimited internet in Nha Trang, in Vietnam, but you can get like I have like 10 or 15 gigabytes a day, and internet here is way better. I'm from Georgia. Sorry for ranting a little bit. I'll keep scrolling a little bit faster. Matt says, hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you, Matt. You know Kyrgyzstan? Yes, Valentina Shevchenko is from Kyrgyzstan. Your national treasure. Vanch, yes, I remember you. A little bit vaguely, but I remember you. Thanks for the live stream and answering questions. You're welcome. Where did you live? America. I never been in America. I'm not the country in the Caucasus region. No children yet, but at some point. In Kyrgyzstan, we love Georgian cuisine. I like hinkali and hachapuri. Oh, good for you. I love hinkali and hachapuri at times, but if you eat it too often, it's a little bit too heavy. Amazing hair. Thank you. Appreciate it. You're going to do great when you fight professional. Just lock in. Yeah, I mean, I'm building up that confidence. It's just about being trained, everything, focus on the nuances, train properly, train smart, um, and just be confident in your skills. How many steps you walk? These days, more than 10,000, so 15,000, even up to 20K. Now I only walked 6,300 steps. It was like a little morning walk, but I'm looking forward to do more during the day. Random question: what do you think the veterinarian? I mean, how their life and salary? What do you think? I have no idea. I don't know. The pet culture is getting more popular in Vietnam. So here, most of people they don't, at least out there, and especially out of the younger generation, they don't eat dog meat or cat meat. They have pets, especially dogs. Like poodles are very popular here. And I heard that even the Vietnamese who eat dogs, they don't eat their dogs. They have very often a pet. And they take care of it. Take care of it. So I already seen some of the. There are even some animal hotels, like stay the places where you can leave, trust your pet. So I suppose there is a market, and it might be quite niche, and it might be an on a demand. So you should look into it. It was a Hindu temple in the Angkor Wat, which is in the Cambodia. So that was the Tom Raider movie made there. Simple life is the best. Are you a fighter? Simple life is the best. I agree. And fighting, yeah, I'm a boxer, and I'm looking forward to get to professional boxing. You have a little Russian accent, by the way, it's a compliment. Yeah, like Eastern European, Russian, Georgian. It's a little bit similar tone. Could you retire if you had 500,000 in your capital? Oh, I think you would. They don't have retirement visa though, so you would have to do visa runs every 3 months. And a lot of people agree to do that. They like to do it that way. I think Thailand has a retirement visa, so maybe Thailand is a place to see. And yes, the Bangkok and Phuket and some places are already oversaturated. It's still okay, but it became quite touristy. I still heard that there are some places in Thailand too, some spots or cities or smaller areas that are also very nice. And there you have the retirement visa. So generally, retiring in Southeast Asia, I think, is quite a good decision. And it also allows you can basically travel and spend a few months at the time in the other parts. Like you may be based in Thailand, you can visit Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, uh, Indonesia. It's a little bit like the island area, but the flights are very cheap. Sorry, so it's quite well connected in Southeast Asia. I'm not single, I'm married. Okay, please don't spam. Okay. Have you been lifting heavy for weight training? That's mostly what I do. I do less than 5 repetitions. obviously proportional weight, so targeting strengths. I'm not doing just the repetitions with, and I'm not doing hypertrophy training at all. And I haven't done anything at all for the last week. But sorry, if you watch some of my live streams before, I would even combine strength training, do the set, then go do boxing training or rope skipping, and then I would let it rest, uh, like active recovery. Do the active recovery for 15 minutes, and then do another set, and I would combine those two. Now, I'm not Jewish, at least as much as well, I'm aware of. Never got the genetical test. I wish you could speak more Georgian for us, so who don't know how to speak. Kamar Joba, Rogur Khart, Kiwulta Tachaltels. I said, hello, how are you? And happy New Year, is what I said. Do you believe in God? I believe there is. I'm delving more into um, maybe even Buddhist beliefs about actually like sort of nothingness, but not fully, also not fully agreeing or aligning with their beliefs. I just like Buddhists because it's one of the religions who declared themselves that they're very science supporting. So as much as the science discovers things about the space and the universe, they adapt it. So they're not fixed into their mythology or stuff like that. They're more that's um, in general like Hindu, Buddhist, Jain religions. They are more about being a seeker, and I'm naturally a seeker rather than a believer. But I also believe that there are many ways to go through. It's such an unexplored and such an uncomprehendable topic that having like the very strict and very rigid opinion that I don't have any. I'm very flexible. I believe in reincarnation. I believe in the multiverses. I believe that they're like, those theories that they're at least they're possible, but I'm also not certain 100% into. I definitely believe that it's not just okay. Things are just the way they are, and that there's nothing, no higher forces behind it. I do believe in higher forces. I do believe in the power of universe. You can call it God if you want. It's all semantics. So that's how I believe. Um, I think you would make a good actress. I'm hardly memorizing the text. I know it takes some practice, but even with singing, even in casino, it's funny enough. I told them that I just need my um, the tablet and being able to connect YouTube and just have a little karaoke thing, and they said no problem. It's funny enough. They also need new songs every week, so that makes sense. It's hard to learn hundreds and hundreds songs like that. So yeah, they're like, okay, no problem. So yeah, I'm having a hard time memorizing text, and I don't really like doing that. So um, maybe that will be a little hurdle in my acting career. Girl, I'm gonna lie, sounds intriguing. Georgian, I guess so. About science. Um, I read about science. I'm not a scientist, obviously. I like to research when it comes to my field, which is personal training and everything that helps to be a better personal trainer, personal coach. I try to do that, of course. But from the other hand, I like to just listen when I walk. Very often, I listen about the theories, the you know random topics. Sometimes it's about more of the history. I like history maybe a little bit more, but I try to listen to some of the quantum mechanics and those theories, which I'm not very good at. Like I cannot even retell you, but I just like hearing those things and having maybe tiny a little bit more or better understanding of certain things that I could perceive differently before. So yeah, I'm not a scientist or I'm not good at science necessarily. However, I like learning. Gravity doesn't need to you to believe it's real. Yes, exactly. Well, exactly. That's a very good point. And I also believe whatever it is out there, it's just works aligned with, at least on our Earth, on our planet, the forces that are, just through the millions and millions of years, the way it developed a certain way. We have gravity, we have the we have the climate, weather changes, we have all those forces um, just coexisting and affecting one another. You can be spiritual person and actually have a little bit of same concept in spirituality, like relationships and energies that people give and take from each other, and give into universe, manifest, get that back, all that kind of stuff, like karma laws. But it's not very different. The principles are not really that different from the science, that it's the way it is. And I'm talking about basics. You can, if there is any scientist in the chat, well, feel free to educate us a little bit better on the details. Oh, hi, Nico, thank you very much for the super chat donation. That's very sweet of you. Okay, what do we have here? Good. Quantum mechanics is the most interesting topic on the planet. Yeah, it's also, well, it takes more than one time listening to the lecture, or a podcast, or a document, or whatever it is, to start understanding a little bit of the existing theories, at least. Yeah, that's a hard one. To me, the history is easier. Like, I like, um, I actually was looking into um, uh, Sigmund Freud, um, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, Carl Jung, and Kafka, just their biographies. So sometimes I just like to listen, and that's the easier thing than quantum mechanics. Obviously, it's easier thing to listen and comprehend is just the history or biographies or of certain prominent people. So yeah, those are the ones that I kind of listened in a row for a few days while walking. Shout out from Montreal, Canada. Yingji. Good to see you back. Thank you very much. My pleasure. Again, thank you. Thank you again. Okay, what do I have here? You learn from the past to correct the present to predict the future. Yes. Well, Carl Jung's collective unconscious theory is actually very, um, I think, at least partially describes it quite well. And as much as there's certain things that are just inherited, we have certain archetype and certain psychological types. They are, and they can be separated with the centuries and the cultures, and geographically as well. But there are certain common imitators, and there are like elements of the inherent truth, inherent virtuous, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, the more you start basically being open to it, more flexible, and try to learn about and explore and seek for um, different information and acquiring different knowledge, the more you tend to understand it a little bit more, at least like create a little code for, at least for your own self, to navigate in this life. Unfortunately, it's not as I mean, when groups of people do that, you end up like countries like Norway or some micronations. They're super um, homogenous, and they have those common values, and they manage to created that way. They understand the importance of certain values and certain principles that just lead into a thriving society, right? But most of the societies and most of the countries and communities, unfortunately, it's hard to get the group of people to get aligned into those. So, but at the end of the day, if you do it for yourself and you seek for that truth on the journey of seeking the truth, you learn how to navigate. Okay, what do you have here? Um, don't you miss the braces? No, I don't. I'm very happy to finally get rid of them. Quantum mechanics teaches us that history is actually subjective. Um, well, good point. If we think about it, everything is the chain of reaction. One thing is it same in the quantum mechanics, because quantum movement is very unpredictable. That's one thing that, at least at the modern theory, they know that it's super unpredictable. So having this idea of hyperfixed uh, so-called fate or destiny, or that things are already built up to be certain way, that is like quantum mechanics theory is countering it technically. um, but yeah, if we think about it, everything like history is just a reflection of us existing and passing through the time and doing it collectively. You can have a little personal history or biography, right? But then you have the history of the nation or culture, and few centuries of the history, and few thousand years and millennia of the history. But at the end of the day, it's all of nothing else as a chain of reaction, and unfortunately we don't even have it as accurate. Yes, some technology and ability to analyze the how you call it, the carbon dating and many other things, basically scientific tools that help us to actually date certain things. And maybe this is like the last few decades, it's like the first time in the century that we actually have some accurate information about our past. But it's still, there's so many parts of the history that are just, you shouldn't believe it straight away because you were not there, you don't know how it happened. Even if you were there, it would be subjective. So yeah, our existence is nothing else than a chain of the reaction. Is there any higher force of it? Well, that's the matter of another conversation. But there are definitely particles moving, the events happening, and they affecting each other and creating the consequential events, and it just goes on and on and on. I'm a final year of medical student, and trust me, there is nothing fascinating about 75-hour for work weeks. Well, if you're a medical student, if you work as a doctor or as anyone in the medical field for 75 hours, that's, I mean, thank you for your service, but it's super hard. I'm more talking about flexible hours of work. And well, here is a little bit of dilemma, because yes, there are we need art and culture, and we need speakers, we need that cultural aspect of humanity. From the other hand, if everything collapses, that's all those professions going to fade away. Like HR and psychology, all of that going to fade, at least temporarily, before society is going to be rebuilt, right? But things like medical fields and engineering and basically a labor workers and building, all of those are needed, right? So I just believe the only way how to support it is to have a good wage, good security for people who do those essential jobs. So they have a good reward, and the system where they can rotate better, meaning that they have opportunities for better, or some more days of the holidays per year, and being able to spend the time with their families. So just find within the system, find the balance between it. But yeah, that's like, you cannot be completely free from the system. And if everyone seeks that freedom, what's gonna happen with society. Like we're already in the West, their demographical decline. In China, there is a demographical decline due to their one children law. There was like a more than 20 million abortions, girl abortions, but now it's disproportional, the male and female population in that age group, meaning that they're gonna the demographical collapse is already coming. On the other hand, you have countries like India who is opposite. So it's yeah, it's individualism is good, and being individual and be yourself, all is that is good, but um, when we start looking at a little bit of the bigger scale, certain decisions of the certain groups of people can affect the future so harshly. You should have gone with finance like me. Marvel movie. Yeah, it's quantum multiverse. That's the I think the biggest most used quote in the Marvel movies. Hi, Argentina. You make a good point there, Diana. I'm just ranting. I'm just thinking out loud, and it's nice to do it together with you guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. What was it? Socrates or Aristotle who said that? I know just enough to know that I know nothing. Similar. I'm not. I don't think it's exactly the correct quote, but you understand the idea. At some point, you just realize that you know nothing. You just know enough to know that you know nothing. Well, happy birthday, Clark. Happy birthday to you. When you're coming to New York, um, not not at this point, but maybe one day. Okay. Well, it was Socrates. Okay. Thank you. I got a husband. He's sleeping. He also had a plague. It was not as bad as mine this time, but yeah, he just sleeping. And that's one thing, guys. We have a luxury of being able to sleep as long as we need most of the days, and that is very hard on medical workers and people in those fields where just they have shifts and sometimes they do night shifts. But still, please prioritize. Like instead of scrolling or doom scrolling to and calling it rest, it's better to sleep and just collapse in the bed and just get that sleep. That's one of the um, from my field, from personal training and coaching, I can tell you that sleep is one of the major backbones for the health and longevity, both physical and psychological, for you individual as a person, and then depending how you function and how productive you can be because of your sleep as one of the biggest factors, then you're going to affect everything else, right? So if we have a society that are sleep deprived, by definition, going to extend into increase the risks of chronic diseases, chronic depression, and well, you know how it also in the combination with the climate. If it's not a sunny climate and it's quite foggy, rainy, cold climate, that gets even worse. So that can affect. It can get you to not very positive outcomes. I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi. Got to go. Hope you all are safe and stay blessed. Thank you very much, and same to you. Have a happy New Year. Have a great day. Let me see if there is anything I need to. Okay, you're at the border. Okay, here we go. No, it's just checking something. Happy New Year. any tricks to keep the hands up. Um, yes, I'm in Vietnam. Happy New Year to you too. By the way, I'm new to this life. What do you do? I'm an online personal trainer. I coach people one-on-one for more than 5 years now. That's like my primarily work. Here in Vietnam, I ended up to be a singer somehow. So I'm hosting karaoke nights 3 times per week, and I also do um, uh, singing in the casino, performing there. So that is like an side hustles that became quite big here for me. And what else? Well, YouTube. That's pretty much my major income sources at this point. I'm also getting ready for my professional to do the first professional boxing fight this year, and a lot of my live streams are about that: me training, doing boxing, giving the tips on improving things, sharing certain things that I tried newly, and well, just sharing it with you as well. What I'm teaching people online. Uh, that is personal training, uh, like physical training, functional training, strengths, hypertrophy, depending what's their situation. I had a client who had a home gym, so we would do a good strength slash hypertrophy training. And he's a male, so he wanted that was his goal. But I also do functional training, trauma prevention, some band workouts. So basically, with available or non equipment, and lately, I moved more into a lifestyle optimization, including nutrition, habit optimization, establishing the good habits and sustainable, create the sustainability, and a little bit psychology too. So I created. If you check my LinkedIn, which is in the YouTube by description, it's about. It's called Foundational Wellness Code. Well, that's a fancy name, but that's what I came up with. And it's like a 90-day program. So it's 3 times per week. I usually train people 3 times per week, but before it would be only personal training and a little bit here and there of everything. And in that course, it's first day, let's say Monday, and every Monday is dedicated to establishing and building up those habits, those essential habits that create the sustainability. And then second day is the muscular training dedicated fully that requires gym or certain weights. So in that case, it's kind of non-negotiable, and it's targeting specifically strength, maybe slash hypertrophy training depending on the goals, but also teaching within every Wednesday, for example, out of those 3 months, it's dedicated to um, learning that blueprint and being able to navigate and do the maintain train and maintain the muscular strength. And the third day, let's say Friday, every Friday is dedicated to working with objections, a little bit of psychological work, because we all have some fears, we also have a lot of excuses, and that those excuses come up for certain reasons, certain insecurities, traumas, certain things that are unprocessed. And in my experience of 5 years, I realized that those things need to be talked out sometimes. So that's my course, and this is how I'm working. Thank you very much. Someone says, have a good English. Many thanks for this info, ma'am. Subscribe. Appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing. I know you already know some things, but how could I send you a few videos showing? Well, I have an email. You can send it there. Just warning, my husband opens the emails, the contact emails first. So that was a couple of times where people send some inappropriate things, and I'm like, okay, I get the notification. I just give it to my husband, and he deals with it. So I'm letting you know. But you can send if it's a genuinely a video of boxing and you want my opinion and feedback. I absolutely would love to look at it. You can do it through the email. Push up or upper lower body days. Upper lower body days. You mean how do I do that? Well, in the course, we target full body. We do full body, but we do different exercises. Let's say uh, we start easy, and we start relatively safe, meaning that we use machines. Machines don't have as good neural response when it comes to strength training, but it's still great. Okay, and it's safer and it's good for adaptation period, like first couple weeks at least. So let's say we do lat pull down or both supinated and pronated holds. Then we and that's targets back and biceps and brachialis. Then we do a push press on the machine as well, and then we do leg press. So those three exercises, boom, all of a sudden we do the whole training, did full body, 3 to 4 sets, less than 5 repetitions, and obviously, well, adaptational week might be a little bit different, but then the target is that to get to the point of higher weights that a person is capable to push or pull less than 5 repetitions, and gradually stacking up the weight, but also resting longer periods. So, and then the more advanced it goes, there are different exercises. There, one way or another, targeted same muscle groups. So that's also about to learn how to do deadlifts, learn how to do squats, learn how to do the military press, push press, the rows. So we do both the machinery, especially in the beginning, and then we do the same principle: back, packs, and lower body. Shoulders also is included somewhere there. You have a military press that purely targets shoulders, or you have, like in the bench press, for example, it's the frontal delt is engaged anyways. So that way, throughout the 3 months, we go through um, as many exercises, legit working exercises with the right technique, and developing the strength pattern as much as possible. And then person has basically the knowledge and experience of doing that and rotating it. Obviously, informationally speaking, I would teach them how to do, maybe how to put into a split, everything that helps them to be able to navigate further. I do gym and advanced calisthenics. Yes, it's good. It's very good. Have you thought to move to English speaking country? Well, I'm me and my husband travel together, so wherever he goes, I go. The same country. He's from Norway, so at some point we're gonna be living part time in Norway. But I think generally I prefer Europe, not entire Europe, but some parts which are more solitary and peaceful and calm, and there are a lot of beautiful areas in the Europe that can be considered. And as a second language, English usually very often comes as the second language. Okay. Are you ethnic German or Irish? No, I'm Georgian, but I have some Slavic roots. My mom is half Russian, half Ukrainian, and my father is Georgian. And it's a little bit of Armenian roots, and they're probably more. I'm quite a mix. I'm not fully aware of all of my uh, genetical components. No, I'm not American. Definitely not Brazilian. Matt says like and subscribe. Yes, thank you. I do deadlifts rarely. Well, that's the thing. Then when you go through all those exercises and you know them, you learn them, then you choose which works better. There's nothing wrong to stick to the same type of exercises for prolonged periods of time, let's say like 4 to 6 weeks. Then to break a plateau effect, sometimes it happens, you can substitute or adjust it a little bit. But generally, you don't have to switch every training, the exercise. You don't have to do a new exercise every time you train. It's just that in the course, it's just for the learning sake too, um, to go through all those movements and the disciplines. However, I understand why people stop doing deadlifts. At some point, I was doing deadlifts a lot, sumo deadlifts and classic deadlifts, RDLs as well, and I was when you carrying, lifting quite a heavy weight, but then, and I didn't get injured from that. I was like, to me, I was very gradual. So like having it with a straight back, which is harder the heavier you go, 100%. But it can be very good if you just maybe coast a little bit longer, meaning that you don't try to wrap up weight every week. You make sure that you do it with a better technique, but you build up a pattern, because deadlift is basically lifting anything. You would lift a box that way. And having that technique and the pattern established is quite important for general functional strength. So, as much deadlifts are great if you do them correctly, deadlifts can be very damaging if you just go and if it's a sport, if it's powerlifting, and you're competing, well, then you pay that price. You put yourself at the risk of potentially getting injured if you make the slightest mistake, right? But if you're just training for yourself, that's you need to understand that you don't need to put yourself in those situations. That's why I like to use leg press quite a lot for heavier lifting, because it's safer. It's safer. Obviously, you still need to do it correctly, but it's less likelihood to make a mistake and controlling wise, make that mistake on the leg press, comparing to if you do heavy squats or heavy deadlifts, right? So when you learn all of it, you kind of learn how to navigate, and you're gonna have some exercises of preferred exercises that you gonna stick to more for the certain muscle group than others, and that's completely normal. You're a bodybuilder. I'm actually not, but I did the personal training course, and that included bodybuilding training basics as well. Next up, English. Thank you very much. That's my third language, and I learned it in 2020 by myself. So I'm quite proud of that achievement. In Vietnam, Nha Trang, that's where we are now. I like Georgian MMA fighters. Thank you. We like them too. We're as a small country and with a little bit of small country complex, like as a nation, we're very proud of them. Very very happy. Let's see how it goes for them. They've been both a little bit struggling lately, but we, I as a Georgian, love them, cheer for them, and looking forward for their future achievements. Okay. Well, let me. There's some things that I really need to take care of today, and today I feel way better. As you can see, I'm not almost not coughing and not sneezing, and that's a good sign. So I'm gonna try to get back to live streaming daily again, more often, and hopefully to get back soon to my training. Hi, Philippines. I am married. But yeah, anyways, you have a good day or good night, depending where you're from. And I see you in the next live stream.